This week on Socratic Cinema, is Lieutenant below Commissioner?
Yes.
Well, I'm sorry, I don't. What do you think? You sound so
No more about
disappointed.
the cops, James.
Yeah, James. God.
To fight the
Yeah,
power, you have to know the power.
Yeah.
What's like dyslexia, but you confuse entire words with one another in your head?
Being stupid.
It's not hard to be weird. Heath Ledger did
Yeah,
a
a
great
guy
job.
like you would know that. Psh, am I right? Up top, Kasey. Up top, Kasey. Riddle me this, Batman. What movie is 3 hours long, has 2 Nirvana needle drops, and has the guy from Jackbox Trivia Murder Party as the main villain? If you don't answer, I'll shoot Kasey.
Why me?
Yeah, what?
Time's ticking, Batman. I'm Paul Dano.
No, Joker. The Riddler.
Alfred, you're not my father.
Guys,
God.
you have to understand, James pitched this to us as I have to present this episode no matter what. And we
Yeah.
didn't know what he was going to say. And it was that.
I was walking to get lunch, and I was like, it came to me. I was like, that would be really funny. I have to do it. I don't know
That
where
was
the
great.
I don't know where the Heinz Doofenshmirtz voice came into it, but I'm not mad that it did. Batman, Batman,
Riddleinator.
my oldest nemesis.
Riddleinator.
Okay,
Yeah,
if you
why
couldn't
did
tell,
it go nasty?
yeah, the answer to the riddle. If you couldn't tell, does anyone know what the answer is?
Is it the Batman?
Serrano.
It's Matt Reeves, the Batman, baby.
Damn it.
You win this round, Batman. Yeah, because that's what he sounds like in this movie.
Yeah.
Yeah,
he's-
nasally.
He's a 1920s cartoon character.
Please give him some Flonase, bro.
That's what I
Please.
would have wanted. But today we are talking, in fact, about the long-awaited Batman movie, Batman. Sorry, The Batman.
Yep.
My name is James DeLisio,
I'm Kasey Clark.
And I'm Charlie Heatherly.
and just jumping right in, I think it's very important that they called this movie The Batman and not just Batman. That's something I'm personally attached to. I think the usage of the word "the" really it adds something, right? If it was just Batman, it's like Spider-Man, Superman. It's like all the other comic book heroes, right? The Batman makes him sound like an urban legend. Makes him sound like a damn cryptid. You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
The
True.
Mothman.
It's like ugh, it's the Batman, like the awful nightmare creature. The Batman is here. So I like that a lot. But listen, this movie it is unbelievable amounts of hype for this film. Right, for like 2 years now, all I've heard anyone say is like the Batman is gonna rock the world when it comes out, and this movie did not disappoint, in my humble opinion. And I'm sure we'll get into that a little bit more. But we're gonna jump right in. We're not gonna waste any time. No more riddles. I'm gonna pass it over to Kasey. Kasey, what were your initial impressions of the Batman?
Wow, thank you. So,
Of course.
my initial impressions, I really enjoyed the movie. Great movie. The performances, amazing. I would rewatch it over and over again. Like this is a type of movie that like I could feel the film bro like growing on me like a symbiotic like parasite. It was great. I was like, I need to get a Letterboxd account. I will put out reviews.
You should do it. Join me.
No,
Follow me
He's
on-
already trying to get me to the
Follow my letterbox.
no free
Follow
promo.
my-
Okay, don't follow my letterbox. Don't do it. Absolutely not.
Charlie doesn't ever put funny reviews for anything. So like, what's the point?
I don't put reviews for
Oh.
anything.
Yeah,
I
you
feel
can
like-
find me on
That's
Letterboxd
correct.
at James DeLisio. You are gonna love what you find
Oh
there.
my goodness. Anyways, off of that, the makeup department did an amazing job. That's Colin Farrell. Seriously, For real,
Get out of
amazing.
town.
Get out of town. Amazing. Couldn't even recognize him. And one of the best parts in the movie, first off, I want to say that I appreciate Matt Reeves actually lighting a dark movie. All right. Gotham is always like pitch dark, but I appreciate not having to squint and trying to see what's going on all the time. I'm paying $16. I don't have 20/20 vision. I'm struggling as it is. Please make my life easier. Thank you.
Imagine not having
Shut up,
2020.
Okay, Skull. Listen, double
sort of
scoliosis.
embarrassing.
Listen, double
Yeah.
scoliosis.
All right.
Yeah, double scoliosis, double 20s on my vision. now.
Okay. No, but that's a really good point, Kasey. Like this is a very dark movie, but it's not. I'd never found it hard to see anything.
Right. Yes.
And I thought it used the darkness to its advantage really well in some specific like sequences. But we can talk about that. We can talk about that later.
Yes. Yeah. Also, what I liked, I have to say this. Zoe Kravitz, please marry me. Please, I'm available whenever you are available.
Normally, this is the part where I'd like chastise you guys, but like.
But
you ain't got nothing to say. This is never mind. But
no one's
Zoe
mad about
Kravitz
this.
and
Okay, let's
Robert
just
Pattinson,
say
great.
nobody is angry
Fantastic.
about the casting in this
no
movie.
one's angry.
No.
I was having a great time personally. You know what you know what I didn't like about this movie, which it's not a real gripe, but if I was a thug, how mad would I be that this tween, not a tween, but this guy in his early 20s is stomping me out in Doc Martens? He's running around Gotham in Doc Martens. I know.
Yeah.
Upsetting.
I love the bat boots. No, I love the bat
boots.
boots. I love how clunky his suit feels. Like
Yeah.
it feels like armor, dude. This is
2 years
like
in. We'll get to it. We'll get to it.
Berserker Batman, like it's what the
yeah.
Ben Affleck suit should have been.
Ooh. Anyways, but that's
calm down.
That is the end of my take. I will pass it back to you, James.
You cede your time? You seize your time?
Yes, I cede my time.
Okay. Proposing a motion to pass the initial impressions to Charlie. All in favor say aye. Aye. Actually, I disagree. No, Charlie, go ahead. Motion passed.
Damn you. Okay. I'm going to start off with the thing that I didn't like about the Batman, just to mix it up. I was sad that they didn't make every person who got punched in this movie be played by Paul Dano.
Dang.
I do really like it when he gets punched in the face. He just has a very punchable face.
He never does.
No.
What do you mean?
Paul Dano doesn't get beat up in this movie.
No, which I'm mad about.
Oh, that's what you were saying. Yeah.
Yeah. Why can't Paul Dano be punched more? I don't have anything against him as like a person, but like man's got a weak chin.
For the most punchable face in the movie, it's crazy that he gets like punched the least. Commissioner Gordon gets punched more than he does.
Yeah. Commissioner
Lieutenant Gordon.
Oh,
is he still a lieutenant in this one?
Is lieutenant below commissioner?
Yes.
Well, I'm sorry, I don't. What do you? You sound so disappointed.
Yeah, James. God.
Yeah.
No more about the cops, James.
Yeah, sorry, I thought it was ACAB, huh?
To fight the power, you have to know the power.
Thank you, Charlie.
That's like a Sun Tzu quote. Right?
Thank you.
Is that a Sun Tzu quote?
What?
You know, my friend carries the Art of War around in his pocket. Maybe I should start doing that.
That man's a cartoon character. That's
no, he's real.
What a like
does not
great
exist.
quirk.
He's real and British, which makes it funnier.
I suddenly know exactly who you're talking about. And I'm so pissed off.
Exactly. But yeah, so real Batman takes, absolutely loved it. This movie is the best Batman movie, in my opinion. I'm so sorry, Nolan fanboys. I love Christopher Nolan. I love The Dark Knight specifically. But this movie just strikes such a very particular tone. It shows a smart Batman and a Batman who like messes up quite a bit.
Yeah.
My favorite scene in this movie is when he is about to go hang gliding or like fly through the city with his little bat suit, his like little squirrel suit thing. Number one, he's scared to jump off the building.
Yeah.
He does not want to go splat on the ground,
Me too,
which is
King.
really cool to see a Batman be scared of heights. can relate. Number two, he beefs it into an overpass when he deploys his parachute and just rolls on the ground for a block. And you get to see this man like limp away, one of the strongest heroes in all of DC limp away because he couldn't like land properly. It's just it really connects the character of Batman to the reality that he's only been doing this for 2 years. And it makes you, I think, sympathize with him more. And also what I think this movie does very well is they very clearly know that Bruce Wayne is the mask. I mean, they mentioned that like several times, but that's a very core element of Batman.
Yeah.
Like instead of Batman being the mask, the real thing is that he can't like go back to his old identity. I loved that parallel with the Riddler where, the Riddler also feels like when he wears the mask, he's his true self and is free from, criticism because he's just so happy in it, which is similar to what, the Batman is when he's punching criminals. Couldn't be happier. But yeah, just overall, very solid film. I think that Matt Reeves has a great understanding of Batman as a character, and you should absolutely go see it if you haven't already. 9.5, my final rating.
Big spoilers too.
Yay.
Yeah. Wow, King, go off. Doing it flawlessly.
Yep.
My favorite part about the film, I'm going to get like specific with these. My favorite part about the movie is the like monologue Batman journal entries that we got.
Of course,
No,
of course.
I adore that. I think, and that's like directly lifted from Watchmen, from like Rorschach.
He's so emo in those journal entries. He's such like a teenage girl.
Well,
It's
He
really,
was
really
writing
funny.
it while playing Nirvana. How like
have you guys read Watchmen?
I love it.
what?
No.
Have you read Watchmen?
Yes, I have.
Yeah, isn't it a lot like that?
It's
I feel like
definitely
that's
this movie.
got to be inspired by, right?
I can bring up several parallels that I noticed in this movie to other films, but I was definitely getting Watchmen. I was getting Seven.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Chinatown,
Yeah.
Zodiac. There's a lot. Yeah.
Zodiac. Yeah.
And I love
It
it.
was
I
so
adore
good.
it. Listen,
Injected into my
DC stands for Detective Comics, all right? And this is a detective movie. But my
True.
favorite part was the Rorschach journal monologues. I love it. I love little pathological Bruce Wayne. I love me a little like creep, ugly, gross Bruce Wayne. Not ugly, but he's definitely gross and a creep.
Okay, no, he sort of is ugly. I hate his haircut in this movie.
Okay,
awful.
listen, it's hit or miss for me. It seems to always be raining in Gotham, and this hairdo does not look good wet. But when, like,
No.
specifically in the hospital scene where he's talking to Alfred, I remember thinking, I was like, hey, that looks pretty good. Like,
They made him really pale in this movie too.
I like
I mean,
it.
he's like the
I like it, yeah.
nocturnal. He hates being in the sun, bro.
Yeah.
in the cave all the
Yeah.
time. Pale representation.
And-
Love to see it.
It's a
My least
shame.
favorite part was.
Would you say he looked like a vampire?
Jesus Christ.
Come on, man. Really? During my take,
I'm sorry. Continue.
all
yeah,
over
it's
my
his take.
food, in front of my kids. My least favorite part of the film, for the record, was just I felt like compared to the like how insanely good most of the movie was, like finale, I guess, was just a little bit like, not to say arbitrary, but just like a big action set piece for big action set pieces sake. I really liked all the intellectual battle, like detective chase serial killer stuff. And then at the end it was like, but of course he wants to blow up Gotham. And so we gotta, fight the goons and Gotham, like
Yeah.
third act finale stuff, which it was done well. Like it wasn't bad, but it was just like, it felt very standard compared to the rest of the film, which was so non-standard. So that was my only complaint. And I thought some of the clues were kind of dumb. I'm sorry.
What do you mean?
I got very frustrated with the whole, it was the Rata Alata thing where he was like, you are L. It's a
No,
UR.
I love that. That's so stupid.
Yeah, okay.
It's incredible. No. But this movie, like the tone it strikes is like it's literally a comic book at sometimes because
funny.
it's so ridiculous and camp,
Yeah.
but it plays it entirely serious.
Yes. Give
Not-
us
This movie
Cam.
doesn't have a single joke in it. Like not a single one. Nobody laughed during the entire time when we watched the movie.
Really?
even though half of it is utterly ridiculous.
Well, I had a lot of laughers. I had laughers at parts that made me concerned. Like when Riddler put the rat trap on the guy, and he was like, "Your politician's about to lose face." People started laughing, and I was like, "What is wrong with you guys?"
Yes, it's a good pun.
good
Good
pun,
pun.
yeah.
I was thinking, I'm horrified right now because that's the
Yeah.
rat trap from 1984. That is the
Yep,
scariest
yeah.
book scene I've ever read.
You just have a bad sense of comedy, James.
Yeah,
That
come
no,
on.
genuinely, the Riddler is horrifying in this film, and it's incredibly good.
Oh, yeah.
For a PG-13 film too.
Talk about the
That
most
first
R-rated.
scene?
Yeah.
That first scene where he's just like, you pan to him and then he's just bludgeoning someone. Listen,
Yeah.
y'all know on this show how I do not like bludgeoning. Don't.
Casey
don't
and
at
blunt
me.
trauma don't get along.
No, no, blunt trauma. No. And he blitz attacked it. I was like, oh, and you heard like the crack. No.
Yeah, listen.
PG-13?
This is the most R-rated feeling PG-13 movie I've ever seen.
And I was genuinely worried that it got moved down to a PG-13, but I really didn't.
There's
feel
no
it.
need to
Well,
worry. Yeah.
I felt it in one way, but
Okay, Casey.
Okay, Casey.
Matt
okay.
Reeves came out saying that he was like, I want to make it very clear that there's no PG-13 was always the goal. There's no secret R cut of this movie.
he's like,
Right,
I'm
he
not
was like-
doing it.
Well, yeah, I mean, basically what he said is they didn't. He was like, there's no R-rated content that we had to cut. There's no secret R-rated version of the Batman. It was always intended to be PG-13. They were just really, really smart about how to leverage that while still getting the tone they wanted, right? Because
Yeah.
the PG-13 to R thing is a big accessibility jump. A lot of parents just aren't willing to take kids to see an
Yeah.
R-rated movie. And so I think it was really smart leaving it PG-13, and I do not at all feel like it was a handicap to the film.
Yeah, me either.
No, Not at all.
This is like a masterclass in pushing the limits of what's possible in PG-13. And it's I feel like a 13-year-old would be fine seeing this. It's not like it's an R movie masquerading as PG-13. It's just that I feel like so many PG-13 movies are very samey. PG-13 is a genre,
Yeah.
and this
Yep.
film just isn't. This is Casey's so right. It's so rewatchable. This is cinema with a capital C. I almost said with a capital M. Cinema. What it is.
Hey, James, it's okay. You can admit that you're illiterate on air.
I can't.
They won't judge you.
read. That's
Yeah, when subtitles came on in the Batman, James went, no.
yeah. That's why this is.
Right now.
That's why this is a movie podcast and not a book podcast.
We were going to do Parasite. And then James said, guys,
Yeah.
I
Have
just
we-
gotta
have
break it to you.
done a subtitled film?
No, because you can't read. We just went
I
over.
mean,
Oh, I
this.
forgot.
technically we
I also
watch-
have aphasia.
I don't know what that word means, but I'm gonna laugh
think
along
I-
because it made me seem dumb if I
Aphasia?
did.
I think I used it wrong. Aphasia is the one where you can't talk. Amnesia, I meant.
Oh, and yes.
Yeah, aphasia is the one where you
Two
can't
very
talk.
different things.
What's dyslexia, but you confuse entire words with one another in your head?
Being stupid.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say it, but I felt like it would have been.
This is a thing in my family where I use words wrong, and I also just make up words. They like to lord it
Uh-huh.
over me. Staple mark. That's one of my. That's
You said staple mark one time?
like a hull, like a landmark crossed with a staple.
Okay, wait. I want to challenge you right now to make up a word. Can you make up a word that describes your rating out of 10?
Yeah,
Towards the Batman.
yeah. Okay. I think if I had to use make up a word to describe my
Yeah.
rating for the Batman out of 10, I think it would probably start with N and rhyme with mime. Yeah, like nime. How did I mess that up?
It was there for
It
you,
was
James.
ball.
That
I
was.
wasn't even playing baseball. I was playing t-ball. It was
It's
it was
okay.
lined up right there.
It's all right.
I'm gonna give it a 9. I give it a 9. There was some plot.
You're gonna give it a
some
9?
plot. Like I didn't think the actual story beats were like especially good, but the atmosphere and the characters were like launched off, landed on the moon, so insanely good, right? That I think it just absolutely blasts everything else out of the water. It was a good time, and I like the score.
Oh yeah, the score.
The score. Oh my God, the score.
Got me feeling like Batman's Darth Vader with how much they used that theme. Where it's like bum, 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 bum.
Yeah.
So good. If
So
that does not
good.
win best score at the next Oscars, I'm rioting.
If this had come out when it was supposed to in 2021, it would have gotten so many nominations.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It would have eaten
Okay. Wait. Can we address the elephant in the room?
that. You haven't done your take yet. Oh, you already did. Never mind.
What?
I'm,
No.
gosh,
That
I'm not doing.
that this movie is probably better than Spider-Man: No Way Home.
I would say in terms of, yeah. Actually, I would just say it is.
Yeah.
And internet, I know you're not ready for that, and I know that you're going to send me death threats in the comments. But little did you know that I am Bruce Wayne, and I am the Knight.
Whoa.
I am vengeance. All right,
I
it's
am
giving,
ven- no,
it's
I'm not
giving very
vengeance,
Iron
I'm
Man in
hope.
here.
I am Iron.
I am Iron Man. I am.
I just need to grow out a really bad goatee,
No, you're
and then I
so
will be
right,
Tony
and I'm
Stark.
so mad about that because like
Yeah.
this movie just it's like it's such a reminder that like you can have a superhero movie that's also a film. You know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just like wow, this was so good. If I had no idea who Batman was, I still would have loved this movie just the same. I don't really know that much about Batman. Like I'm not a Batman fan.
Look at this
You don't need to,
plebe.
you don't need to laugh. Oh, I wonder if we'll have Court of Owls in the next movie. Is that what you want me to say? Like drop some
Yeah.
No, this
Batman
guy
lore?
doesn't know
Actually,
what the
you
long
want to
Halloween
explain
is.
who Hush is?
Who's Hush? Oh, Hush
Yeah,
is actually
exactly.
Hush is the guy from the Court of Owls with the black and gold suit.
Nope.
Nope.
Wow, that couldn't have been more wrong.
Who's Hush? Who's Hush?
Hush is Tommy Elliot, who was Bruce's childhood best friend. And Tommy blames Bruce for his father's death. And he goes around masquerading himself, getting plastic surgery to look like Bruce, look like Jason Todd. Do you know who Jason Todd is? Probably.
Yes, I know who. I know who Jason Todd is. I know who Jason
Yeah.
Todd is.
And he's just tormenting Batman. But here's the thing. In the Hush comic, who's pulling the strings? Riddler from in prison. Wow. Crazy.
Oh wow.
Wow.
Okay. Yeah. Can they put Clayface in the next one?
I don't want, no.
I want.
No, why?
Ready? Clayface in Batman 2. It's called Rise of the Clay. That was a good one. Ready? He's born out of. Gotham is
I was
flooded.
born out of the clay.
Right? Gotham is flooded.
Stop.
And there's a
Nobody
concrete
cared about
mix.
me.
There's a concrete Gotham concrete plant.
That's literally not even how Clayface was made.
And it cracks and the clay starts spilling out.
Oh my god.
Oh, and the
Wouldn't it
It
be
would be
concrete that
concrete.
starts spilling out at
and
the
concrete's
plant?
made of clay and the worker there and he hates Batman and he falls into the concrete and he gets struck by lightning and he says, "Now I'm." He looks in the mirror and he
I'm
goes,
here
"Oh
at
my!"
clay.
Well, he looks in the mirror and he goes, "My face, it's clay." And then the camera like holds for a second and he goes, "My face is clay." And then it goes,
Stop.
"Bomb." Then it plays Nirvana.
It's Nirvana. Come as you are starts playing.
Yeah, it says, it goes just like that. Rise of the Clay. And then the third one, no, actually, hold on. I have to brew for something better for the third one. We'll come back to that.
I think the third one, it's going to be
Something
Joker.
better.
I don't think they're going to
Okay.
pull Joker in for this next one, but I think they're going to do a third one.
Let's talk about it. Because that was surprising. I was
I was not expecting that.
not so soon. I frankly don't want another Joker yet. Like I'm
I really
can't
do not.
handle it.
jokered out. I'm sure Joker will just be incredible in this universe, but I'm jokered out.
Oh yeah, if they can make Riddler like this, the Joker's gonna be in.
Joker's going to be
Insane.
mental. Matt Reeves said in an interview that he's interested in doing Mr. Freeze.
Ooh.
That's
Here's my
dope.
thing with the movie. Do you think that it's obviously a very good movie, it's a very good piece of cinema, but you also have to notice in comparison to its superhero counterparts, especially with the DCEU, there's not a lot of like CGI.
And I love it.
No, not at
And I
all.
love it. So do you think that adding in these because you go into like Batman's rogue gallery, then you get Poison Ivy, you get Mr. Freeze, you get Clayface, all kind of villains
All
that
the guys, yeah.
need CGI. Like, do you think they should stay with like the non-CGI villains like Penguin, like Joker,
Two-Face. Yeah.
Two-Face, to kind of like
Matt
keep
Reeves.
that.
Yeah. Matt Reeves said in that same interview that like he very much is not going to be going into like the more fantastical Batman villains. He was like, I want to stay here with the like more grounded, realistic side of Batman, which I'm totally fine with. So that's why I'm interested in why he said he's interested in doing. Like, I'm curious about why he is interested in doing Mr. Freeze. Like, how would you do a grounded Mr. Freeze? I think it would be really cool. But you know, it's no
like
Clayface.
giving very like eco-terrorism Mr. Freeze.
Yeah.
Yeah, or just
Not
like
Well, because that's what
giant
this movie
ice
is concerned about.
sculptures, like
a nut job with like a vat of dry ice.
Yeah, it's just going to be different serial killers. Well, like this movie is shockingly modern in some of its like takes on society.
Yeah,
You know, like
they use the
it
phrase white
brings in-
privilege.
Did they? Did
Yeah.
I miss that?
Catwoman's like
u-
Riddler's killing all these white privilege like bastards.
Oh, yeah. No, that just sort
listen.
of slipped
Yeah.
by me.
Politic moment.
True. But like this movie had like a very definitive take on radicalization on social media and like how pipelines on things like YouTube work to radicalize people. It was talking about some modern issues in a very interesting way that I haven't really seen from a Batman movie in a long time. And I know that the Nolan films did that, right? So, you know, nothing incredibly new. Obviously, they talked about different issues, though. So Mr. Freeze, eco-terrorism, or, you know, something to do with climate change or something, you could maybe work that in. I don't know how successful that would be, but
Amen.
maybe that's where Matt Reeves is coming on or
Yeah.
coming from when he
I don't
Why
know.
is
says
it always
that.
raining in Gotham? Climate change.
True.
I feel like
Mr. Rain.
yeah, Mr.
That
Rain.
is Mr. Freeze.
Oh, that's a good one.
Global warming has unfrozen Mr. Freeze, and now he's just
No,
Mr.
he's just
Water.
Mr.
at this
Water.
point.
Aquaman.
Gosh,
Not. Jeez.
you know, I'm very. I heard they're making a HBO show about the Penguin from this film. I don't like that.
You
Yeah,
don't like it?
I don't like that either.
No, I
Did you-
want.
Did you guys watch Peacemaker though?
I didn't.
I watched the first episode.
I watched all 8 episodes, and
How
you
is it?
know how it made me feel. It made me feel great. It gave me a nice, warm, tingly sensation in my belly. It made me
Oh,
feel nice.
Oh,
I feel like
that's
it's a
good to
great
hear.
companion piece. And if they know what
To
they
Batman?
did, they took James Gunn and they still let him do whatever the hell he wanted with that character. If they're able to do that for Matt Reeves, I'm not worried.
Okay, sure. I guess I'm already so Marvel fatigued. I just don't want like Batman felt very fresh and exciting. I don't want this to turn into the Batman extended cinematic universe and everyone and their mother gets it. Like if they announce an Alfred movie, I'm quitting. Like I'm dropping.
Oh yeah, no. The Pennyworth TV show, kill it with fire, preferably.
There's a
Nah, we need more Pennyworth.
What are you? Oh my gosh! See, there's stuff I don't even know about. I want to. Okay, so we've done a lot in this first half of the episode. we've done a lot of speculation. We've done a lot of like general commentary about the surroundings of the film. I think we take a brief intermission here for a special segment, and then we come back in with let's talk about what was within the movie, right? Let's get into the content, a deep dive before we close it out in the second act here. But with that, I just got a card with some strange cipher, and I was working on it with my butler, and it turns out that we have 2 patron questions.
Of course, you have a butler.
Whoa.
I know.
White man.
Hey.
It's actually me, Kasey.
Yeah.
Sort of offensive.
All right.
Oh,
It's
so
Charlie.
indentured servitude.
Yeah, there's a
James, you promised you would call me the butler. Not just
The
butler.
butler.
Yeah, I think it adds a lot to the mythos of the character when he's referred to as the butler.
Oh yeah, it gives very prequel.
Question 1. Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
I would tell this in
Preparado.
riddle form, but I'm not smart enough to do that off the bat. Okay, coming from Kasey's parents. I'm not masquerading it anymore. For each of you, what is your favorite take in any of your episodes from each of your co-hosts? And if you're feeling brave, what is one of your own opinions that on further consideration you wish you could take back?
You know what? Charlie, you're so opinionated. Why don't you go first?
Yeah. Okay. So for James, it's easy. It's this dumb Pixar continuum thing that he did
Oh my
on,
gosh, I'm so smart.
on like the deepness scale
yeah.
or whatever.
The DeLisio Socratic Pixar deepness curve.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's so stupid. But
It's
like
actually the most accurate and smart thing I've ever said.
all it points out is that like there are some deep movies that Pixar has made.
No, it's that they
And-
oscillate.
Okay, but it's such
You're
a
getting
general
him going
trend.
again.
We've looked at the movies, and it barely oscillates.
Oh my gosh, it was actually perfect, and the data has never lined up better than in that one case. And I'm a data scientist now. They actually gave me a
Yeah.
Nobel Prize for that one. So,
Oh, Dr. DeLisio.
so you watch
wow,
who you're
that-
talking to.
Wow. This is
My
how
house.
Okay, well,
you've heard it here, folks. This is how James treats his servants.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
He's demeaning.
He said
He's
worse things to me off the air.
disrespectful.
Okay.
Charlie
okay.
is locked in his basement right now, and you're choosing
Yeah,
to support
it's-
him. You're
Charlie's
going
about to get in
follow
the
his
rat trap
letter
after we turn this off.
No, sir, not
Yeah, the rat
Charlie-
trap is just gerbils.
Oh my
Slower,
gosh.
more painful death. And you have to look them in the face when
He
just
makes me
naked
watch
mole
Inside
rats.
Out for 4
The
hours
rat
straight.
trap, but it's naked mole rats.
All right. Settle down.
Casey's making herself
I know.
That
laugh.
was funny.
Settle down, team.
Okay, but that's my favorite James take because it is objectively bad, but it's still funny, and I like bringing it up. In every Pixar movie that we do, we will bring it up again. And my favorite Kasey take, it's like a collection of takes, and I won't name specifics because Kasey would get mad at me. But she just has very good taste in shows and movies about who's hot and who's not, and some
Oh,
specific shows that
God.
we watch off the air of Socratic cinema. She has some very strong opinions on. I'm very excited to watch the back half of season 4 of one of those shows.
Oh, God.
But yeah, those are my favorite takes. And a bad take that I've made that I like to rescind, there are none. They are perfect and beautiful in every way. None of them are bad.
If by none of
all
them
are
you meant
accurate.
all of them,
Nope. Even Napoleon Dynamite. In
I
fact,
was-
that's the smartest take I've ever
I
made.
was thinking about that one. I
Yeah.
was genuinely thinking about that. I was
Me
like, come on,
too.
now's your chance.
Napoleon Dynamite is not that funny.
Shut
it just is
up,
not that
shut
funny.
up.
Don't. Please don't
Shut
start this
up.
again. Don't start this again.
Casey,
I
Okay,
hate
well,
it
th-
when you
those are my
fight.
takes.
All right, is it my turn? Did you throw it over to
Yeah.
me? Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see. My favorite Charlie take is when we were watching Over the Moon, and he essentially just crapped on women in STEM.
No, this is inaccurate.
Oh, is it?
I didn't
What does
crap on
F-
women
what does
in
F
STEM.
stand for?
Charlie, he actually said in that episode, quote, I don't think women are cut out for STEM careers.
Not on International Women's
I
Day.
couldn't
James.
believe it
Don't-
either.
don't do
I
this.
couldn't believe it either.
I was
like, Charlie, are
dying.
you sure you want to say that? And he was like, yeah, I just don't think they're
I just doubles down.
Yeah, naturally they're stupider. Like what?
Yeah, Kasey, I'm with you there.
Oh goodness.
I'm with you there,
Goodness,
Kasey.
Yeah,
That was
wild.
insane.
And then for James, I think the greatest take, it wasn't necessarily on a movie, but on one of our co-hosts here. He did in fact say that Charlie was not brown; he was indeed white.
Yeah. Yeah. James,
Empirical observations.
Empirical observations.
I told that story of how that failed for me on air, right? Or was that off
I think
air?
it might have been off air.
I think it might have
I
been
think it
off
might have been
air.
off air.
Oh my
All
gosh!
right, well, we'll
still
save
funny.
it for a different day. But there's a very embarrassing story related to James's jokes about you're not Charlie Brown, you're Charlie White.
Do you have a take that you'd like
a
to
take that
rescind?
I'd rescind? Ooh. You know what? I can't think of one, but I know it's out there.
Twitter will find it.
Twitter will
eventually.
find it. Y'all will let me know.
Okay. I think my favorite Charlie take, I am genuine here, all right? Not like you cynical jerks who like to make fun of your co-hosts. I genuinely think my favorite Charlie take is when he was talking about how Princess Mononoke would make a kick-ass open world video game.
Thank you.
That I thought was brilliant.
It's an incredible
agree.
take.
Absolutely brilliant.
It will happen at one point, and I will make it. I promise.
My favorite, and this isn't for Kasey. It's not a take. It's more like a running bit we have where I don't know something that everyone on planet Earth should know, and Kasey gets really mad at me for not knowing about it. I.e., the first time it happened was during the I'm Thinking of Ending Things episode where I didn't know what Ghost was and I didn't know who Patrick Swayze was.
Oh yeah, that was
She
very
got so
upsetting.
mad. And I've never been more
Upsetting.
frightened in my life than when Kasey asked me if I'd seen any Denzel Washington movies.
But now you have.
But now I have, and so it's all good.
Mhm.
And a take I'd like to rescind. Listen, during Recordathon 2021, I said a lot. I said a lot of things. I'd surely like to rescind some of it, but I actually have one take I'd like to rescind that not only segues us into the next question, but also segues us back into the episode. And that is that I said in the beginning of the episode that Clayface would be an amazing villain for Batman 2. I'd like to take it back because I came up with something better. For Batman 3. Batman 3. Attack of the Moths with Killer Moth
Shut up.
as the main
Shut up.
villain. The opening
No.
scene, Gotham Moth Emporium.
Stop.
Wow.
The moths, that's it. That's it.
It's just Adam Moth Emporium.
It's just Killer Moth.
Wow.
I mean, you can't get better than that one.
Wait, no, here's the opening scene. Are you ready for this? This is genius. The bat signal is in the sky.
Oh my gosh.
And you see a silhouette of Mothman
Charlie,
flying
Please,
across
Charlie,
you know
it.
how many people want to be in a relationship with Mothman? Do you know how many
No,
people?
Killer Moth. Charlie, I just peed my pants a little. That was such a good idea.
Right?
Killer Moth.
Right.
And they could they want to do it grounded. Play it like Mothman. I want Batman to meet his match with monstrous, nightmare, scary Mothman. And maybe he even tries to position himself as another vigilante. I'm the Knight. I'm the Mothman. But you could play it a lot of ways. I think Mothman's got some potential. Maybe Man-Bat. Ooh.
Ooh,
Man-Bat?
Man-Bat? Oh
Man-Bat
yeah.
would go crazy. But so that's what I'd like to rescind. But that leads me to the question from Chris Heatherly. Who is the best cinematic Batman villain? Come on, guys. There's an easy answer here. It's Arnold.
There's
It's
an
Arnold
easy answer.
Schwarzenegger as Mr. Freeze.
It's Arnold Schwarzenegger. I was legit about to say that. And it's all accurate.
Yeah, and Kasey, if you don't agree, we're gonna end the episode right here.
Stay cool.
Freeze. Okay,
I'm just kidding.
here's my thing.
Wait, you're
Here's
kidding?
my thing.
I haven't even seen that movie.
Oh, James.
Okay,
James,
okay. Listen,
James, are you
Get
kidding?
mad at him. Get
Are
mad
you
at him.
kidding me?
you want to know the only other Batman
Oh,
movie I've seen all the
God,
way through
don't.
is Batman Begins.
You
You haven't seen The Dark
You
Knight?
haven't
I've seen
seen
half of-
Michelle
I've seen-
Pfeiffer?
I've seen half of The
What?
Dark Knight and none of The Dark Knight Rises.
My
James, you run a movie podcast.
God. And you
I think I saw-
I'm bad.
I saw half of Batman versus Superman actually.
Oh
That
my
doesn't
god.
count.
Yeah, that's not a Batman movie.
Anyways, therefore my favorite is the Riddler.
You mean
you're
and then in
Jim
second
Carrey
place,
Riddler?
no, and then in second place is Heath Ledger Joker, and then in third place is Cillian Murphy Scarecrow, because those are the only ones I've seen.
Cillian Murphy, Cillian Murphy?
Cillian
What?
Murphy.
Does anyone else want to go?
Kasey, you go ahead.
Okay.
You go ahead.
Okay, so James, very good take with the Cillian Murphy. Very good.
He was good.
He was good. He was good. And then also, of course, Heath Ledger as the Joker.
Right.
My whole
pay respects
thing.
to the king.
Once we're done, I want to also pose another question. For maybe this is just between Charlie and I because we're well versed in Batman. Sorry, James.
Can you shut up?
Sorry, James. But what Batman story do you want to see like Matt Reeves take on? Because I have an idea, but once we get through our patron questions, then we can hop into that question. But
Okay.
I just want to know what we're thinking. But yes, those would be my two.
Okay.
Okay. My favorite Batman villain. I want to be quirky here. My favorite Batman villain is the Joker. And you go, Charlie, which the Joker? There are so many the Jokers. The Joker that I consider to be the best is the Lego Joker. This is the only
The
acceptable answer.
queer-coded Joker. Good for you.
The queer-coded
Good for
Joker.
you.
Because I believe in equality and freedom.
Oh, yeah.
And that Joker represents it to me. He is fun. He is friendly. No Joker has put a smile on my face more than this Joker, which I feel like is sort of his whole shtick. Heath Ledger can eat his heart out, and Joaquin Phoenix can die. And, you know, the Lego Joker is the
Wow.
last one left standing. Yeah. That's a take I don't want to rescind. I'm so glad none of you said Joaquin Phoenix is your favorite Joker. I'm tired of people talking about it. He did fine. It was fine. It's not hard to be weird. Heath Ledger did
Yeah,
a
a
great
guy
job.
like you would know that. Psh, am I right? Up top, Kasey. Up top, Kasey.
Kasey agrees with me. She's
I
hesitating,
am
James.
hesitant. Listen, I
speak the
enjoyed that
truth.
movie, but yeah, it's not that hard.
I was calling Charlie weird. I was calling Charlie
Oh,
weird.
okay.
Yeah.
I'll get up top.
Up top, Kasey.
There
We're
we go.
actually in the same room, Charlie.
Yeah.
We're recording
Yeah.
together
Oh,
because we're
no.
friends.
Yeah.
No, I was in the
We're
basement,
actually-
I thought, watching Inside Out.
Yeah.
And also,
You're
Joaquin Phoenix, I didn't mean that. I didn't mean that, Joaquin Phoenix. I like you. You were great in the Master.
Yeah. Okay, listen, we have Batmans to talk about.
Okay, wait. I want to talk about Casey's thing for a sec. Just
sure.
real quick.
sure.
Favorite Batman story to be adapted? I think it was done super poorly, but I think Matt Reeves could handle it well. Batman versus Superman. That's like literally that Frank Miller comic is my favorite Batman comic, and all of the good parts of it were taken out in the movie Batman versus Superman.
Yeah.
So yeah, I want to redo.
I think I just desperately don't want to see this Batman be like tainted by the rest of the DCEU.
Yeah. Just keep him like how
Keep
they're
him
doing with
alone
the
for
Joker.
me.
Just keep him in his own little separate corner.
If
For now.
if they never made a sequel to this movie, I'd be happy. Like I think
Yeah.
this is fine. But anyways, I want to see what to pick. What to pick from all the Batman comics I've read.
Yeah, James has read like no, he probably got like a cereal box when he was younger. And there's like an
I
ad on
read
it,
The
and then
Killing
Batman, he's like,
Joke.
I want the Chex Mix Batman to come back.
I read The Killing Joke.
Okay.
I
will
read
take
Year
that.
One.
I will also
I
take
read-
that.
Mhm.
Yeah, all right. All right. No, but I would want to see. I mean, I think if they're going to do Joker next, they haven't really set up Barbara Gordon, who's kind of important for The Killing Joke, but let's see The Killing Joke. Let's see it.
All right. Yeah, I'll take it. You know what? I feel like Matt Reeves would kill the Death in the Family.
Oh my
storyline.
gosh. No, you're
He
insanely right,
would
actually.
Destroy it.
Mm.
Faceless Joker.
I mean,
Faceless
they
Joker,
set up-
Bat Family. Are you kidding?
They set up what's his face? Okay, dude, they're setting up Robin with that little kid, right?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, they have to.
Okay.
No, that's my favorite thing is that Robert Pattinson says he will only play alongside a Robin if the Robin is like literally 12 years old,
Which is fine. I mean, that's
Right,
how
yeah.
Robin
That's
is,
how
right?
Robin is.
which
Yeah.
is awesome.
Yeah.
Well, Joseph Gordon-Levitt was Robin.
Yeah,
Like,
technically. And that's kind of,
Oh.
we hate that. We hate that.
yeah, that was
Yeah,
like a
technically he was
love.
Robin.
I like love Joseph Gordon-Levitt. That was a very weird choice. But like
Yeah.
I love whole Bat family content. I just love it. And plus like we're getting into like it's small scale, so we're not dealing with anything super big. But it's just Joker literally trolling. Well, not trolling. He's literally like abusing the Bat family for so many volumes. But I just think that he would absolutely kill it. Just absolutely kill it.
Yeah, there's a lot of good stories to pick from for how they choose to go about Joker here. There's a lot of good directions to go with. But we already talked about the Joker choice. Um what do
Lego Joker for the win.
Lego Joker for the win. What do we want to talk about in regards to the film? I feel like there's so impossibly much to talk about and we have so
Yeah.
little time, you know?
Yeah, could we just talk about how hot Zoe Kravitz
Yeah, I
is?
feel like she
I-
was
listen,
underused.
Is that fine?
Okay,
Yeah.
no,
She
but in all
wasn't- they didn't
seriousness,
Zendaya bait us, but I feel like she was underused.
Little
Oh,
under.
you thought she was
she also
underused?
wasn't really portrayed as that powerful.
Right. Like she
wait,
couldn't
really?
be. I mean,
Oh,
she
this
was
is
like,
interesting.
because like the thing about Catwoman is I don't think her power has been accurately portrayed. Like maybe
She has
with
power.
like nine lives, like she was blessed by the cat goddess thing. Like it's a whole
Oh, I didn't
weird
know it.
thing.
Oh, I
Yeah.
didn't know that.
Like it was like how did they set it up in the Tim Burton Batmans where like she kind of like got killed technically and then she was saved by a bunch of cats and then she got like their 9 lives and then so she came back kind of a little bit unhinged and as Catwoman. Right. It was a little funky, but she's a cat burglar, yes, but she has some like not meta-human abilities, but like girly is strong, bro. I would not want to take a stiletto to the chest from her. I mean, actually, I would, but
Yeah.
Okay.
under certain circumstances, not in a one-on-one. Like if she was just a simple like cat burglar, or like just someone that does CrossFit, like she would not be going toe to toe with Batman on the reg. Or like
Yeah.
literally anyone on the reg. But she just be out here whooping folks, beating the brakes off people. Like she's
I don't
just
know.
powerful.
I really liked her in this movie. I thought like I was genuinely expecting them to sort of sideline her, but I thought she had a really good arc. I mean, I thought she got to learn a lot from Batman and Batman got to learn a lot from her. And I thought they even like had time to flesh out her backstory. And I thought she fit into the grander plot really well. I genuinely really, really liked how they did Selena Kyle here.
Yeah,
But where's the whip?
that's
She,
true.
she had it. She had it in one scene.
Riddle me this.
I want more of it. Here's my
Riddle me
thing.
this.
I want more
My
of it.
whole
Listen,
thing
yeah.
is that the Batman, it was advertised as a young Bruce Wayne story, but it was also semi-advertised as that classic cat and bat like story where it's consistently okay, like we're doing like the cat and mouse thing, like we're doing like they're consistently having contact with each other, they're consistently like, oh, like she's kind of like a B level situation, like all this stuff is going on, but he's still like trying to get through to her, like do all this stuff. And I feel like she kind of got bumped from like a B to a C level at times. And that kind of takes away from the whole like cat and bat aspect of it, because then she just becomes a side
Yeah.
character.
I see what you're saying. I think that's something I noticed with this film in general is that there's so many moving parts that they didn't all get as much time as I would have liked. Like Penguin,
Yeah.
I feel like had just enough time. Penguin,
Yes, perfect.
Yeah, I didn't need that much
I
Penguin.
didn't want more Penguin. In all honesty, I think they could have cut the chase scene down. I thought it went a little long.
Yes.
It was really cool, but I thought it was long. I could have done with a little bit less Penguin, a little bit more Catwoman, and honestly, a little bit more Riddler. Like I would have loved maybe one more Riddler kill. just because I thought those were so fun, and I want to see
Yeah.
more like battle of the
Oh,
minds.
you thought the kills were fun, did you? Hmm?
Okay, yeah. Anyways, like there was one specific stretch of the movie around like the probably 2 hour mark when all the truth is coming out about Falcone and the mysteries being put together, and you don't see the Riddler for like half an hour, and I was like kind of missing him a little bit because there was just this huge chunk of film that was all about the Waynes and Falcone and all this backstory and all these twists are getting revealed, and it sort of moved away from the Riddler plot for a stretch, and I missed it. So I guess that's like one critique I had is I wish there was even more detective-ness because that was my favorite part
Yes.
of the movie.
Mm. See, I don't know if I have like any actual critiques of the
Yeah,
movie besides the like final fight being a little lame. Like, if I have to be honest, some of the action in this movie really wasn't that interestingly choreographed. And it like this movie's strength was not its action. And in fact, I feel like there were even some scenes in Batfleck's first appearance as Batman that did action better than this film. Granted, I really, really hated how Batfleck killed people. Like, it's absolutely not Batman. Very glad they stuck to that very basic rule here. But yeah, like
Forgot about that.
I think the one scene that felt truly brutal to me was his introduction scene.
Oh, it was
Right.
Oh, that was
incredible.
so good.
But more so the scene with the bullets in the dark when he's fighting through the hallway. They did
Oh,
that
that's
practically,
so
by the way.
Oh
my genuinely
gosh.
possibly my favorite like shot in the whole movie.
Yeah.
Yeah. And like
Actually, it's not
that's
my
a shot
favorite
that's been done before, so it's not as like the shock value of it isn't as cool because like you've seen it in stuff like even like The Mandalorian, but you know it's still
brilliantly
very
done.
Yeah, it's
striking
still amazing.
in this movie. I love the overhead shot too, where he's holding the red torch.
Yeah, that is my
Uh,
favorite shot.
Mhm.
I mean, stunningly beautiful. I thought that was in the sewers in the trailer. I was like, oh, he's gonna like find Killer Croc or something,
Oh,
but
jeez.
no.
Killer Croc.
I
Yeah.
I wish that lasted longer, but just the movie leaves a great impression on you at the end because it feels like Batman actually went through an arc,
Yeah.
and I think that that's supported by the 30 minutes that they're spending on the Waynes and
That's
stuff
true.
like that.
Yeah.
I like how much Batman learned. I think for as sort of lame as the big gonna destroy Gotham thing is, this movie did it really well. I think the flood is really great. I don't think that's specifically been done before. It's not like I'm poisoning the water supply. I'm putting tear gas all over it. Right? It's a flood is something new, and it's also very symbolic. Right? Like he's.
Bring in that
I
Jesus.
love. Well,
Bring me Noah's Ark.
Yeah, I mean, like literally cleansing Gotham, right? Like Riddler views Gotham as this place that's beyond saving, and so he just wants to wipe it all away. And I thought that was great. I thought the flood was wonderful symbolically. Gotham as a character in this film, like Gotham is a character. I love the
Yes.
portrayal of the city. I think it's brilliant. And yeah, I think that really giving Gotham its own identity was something that this character, this property really needed. It's a common complaint with the Christopher Nolan movies that Gotham is just Chicago. So I really loved I really loved seeing it have its own identity.
Gotham is just Detroit.
And I think just in general, that's what I loved about the Reeves Batman is that it felt like it had such a distinct identity in the superhero film landscape. It felt like it had an artistic vision, right? And I love that. And I'm seeing inklings of it in Multiverse of Madness. It looks like it might be the first Marvel
Yeah.
movie that's actually color graded.
Ooh.
Which would be cool,
Ooh.
right? Like everything's not Marvel gray. But I don't know. I mean, it's obviously it's going to be nothing compared to this, but yeah, I really love the Batman. I don't think everything it did was revolutionary, but I think it did what it did insanely well.
Yeah. I think the biggest thing to
Yeah.
take away from the Batman is that there's still creativity left in the superhero genre. A lot of it comes from great combinations of genres that we've seen in comic books that work, like noir and superhero. I mean, we sort of got that a little bit in Watchmen, but you know, not all the way. Like,
Uh, I disagree, but continue.
Well,
Never
it's like
mind.
it's like the Rorschach. bits.
Watchmen is whatever. We're not talking about Watchmen. Keep going.
But detective stories and superheroes, there's tons of other different genres that can merge with superheroes really well. And it's great to see a new story that isn't just Superman or our version of Superman has died. What now? So, the Batman is great for being creative in that regard. And I hope that Matt Reeves continues to make really interesting stuff in the future. Although none of us are incredibly excited about the Penguin spinoff series, I have hopes that he, as producer, will contribute some interesting ideas. And hopefully they'll explore like Arkham Asylum, as he said he would. So there's a bright future for the DCEU after a very, very long, dark and gray and Snyder period. And I'm happy to see it happen.
Yeah, me too. Honestly, I feel like you guys wrapped it up perfectly. Like, I don't think there's a lot to add. That's great. That's great. My seal of approval. Boom.
I'm glad.
Thumbs
I'm
up.
glad the actual Batman fan gave the seal of approval. Yeah.
Right. You know how hard it is to be a Batman fan and say eat the rich at the same time? Anyways.
Your boy it's like being an Iron Man fan. It's okay.
Yeah. Literally.
But I think with that, it's up and away to this spiel zone. Riddle me this. What's the best way to advertise a podcast?
Oh, is it social media?
No.
Tramp stamps?
No.
Okay. I know of no other way.
Is it our
It's word of
platforms
mouth.
that you can? Oh.
Word of mouth. How did I not know that?
The best way to advertise is word of mouth. And you can help us if you enjoyed the episode, which I hope you did. I hope you had a blast. I hope you loved it like we love Batman. Share the episode with a friend. If you think we said something they might find interesting, go ahead and share the episode and we'd love to talk to them like we've just talked to you for an hour. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. Hit that bell so you never miss a new episode. Go check out our most recent video essay if you're interested in Death Stranding and how historical context shapes the way we perceive art. Also, you can follow us on social media to stay up to date with everything we're doing at twitter.com @CinemaSocratic, on Instagram @Socratic_cinema. Always lots of fun stuff happening on the socials. If you would like to support us monetarily and do stuff like ask patron questions or have your name featured in descriptions and shouted out and getting access to episodes early, you can do so at patreon.com/Socratic Cinema for as little as $1 a month. We won't embezzle your funds like the Gotham Renewal Fund. All of your patron contributions go directly to ensuring the best production qualities for Socratic Cinema, and that is a 100% transparent Socratic guarantee. And I stand by that. This is James DeLisio, and I approve this message. I think that's all I got to say for the spiels. Thank you again. Just genuinely, thank you again for listening. It's always a blast, and we love doing it. So we hope you love hearing it, and we made your day just a little bit better, maybe.
Shucks.
On behalf of my good friends Charlie and Kasey, I think we bid you a good night.
Adios.
Adieu, madame.